Greetings everyone. I Prajwal Meti on behalf of Group 13 will take you through our project that has been condensed into a PowerPoint presentation. We named our project Aim and Hit mainly because our game consists of a projectile that has to be aimed properly to hit a predetermined target. Our group consists of 5 people: Nihal, Ashfaq, Aditya, Prasanna and myself Prajwal. Problem definition for our gaming system is to design a semi-automatic gaming machine which must be able to aim and hit the target, providing 30 seconds of time trial for each person. The player would win points based on how efficient and how accurate he is in the game. The machine should not occupy the space more than 1 into 2 feet, and the budget to build it should not exceed 4,000 rupees. The projectile must be made of a paper ball, and the gaming machine must run on electricity. And finally, the gaming machine should display the score scored by the player. This is function tree and functional clustering for the subsystems of a gaming machine, which tells functions of each subsystem. The function of projectile handling unit is to sense the projectile, to store the projectile, to move the projectile to the launcher, and to return the launched projectile to its original position. The function of launcher handling unit is to adjust the angle of the launcher and to adjust the speed of the projectile, and finally to launch the projectile. The functions of target handling unit is to sense the projectile when it hits the target, to display the scores, and to display the number of tries left. And finally, the last subsystem is casing. The final subsystems which have been identified for our gaming system are launcher handling unit, projectile handling unit, target system, and the casing. Our team came up with 4 unique concepts that approach the building of the actual game from very different directions. I'll differentiate between the concepts and explain why we chose the final concept. Our concepts mainly sought after a system which would include a launching mechanism, targets, a scoring system, and a defaulting mechanism. However, each concept is different. Our first concept had all the above mentioned mechanisms, but it was different as it advocated the building of the entire game on a slant so that the ball would return back to its original position because of gravity. Also, a screw mechanism gets the ball back to its original position. Our second concept also had an inclined plane, but this concept proposed a conveyor belt mechanism to get the ball back to original position. Also, this concept would have used a different kind of monitor display to display the scores. A third concept proposed the use of 2 targets instead of 3. It also suggested that the entire system should be smaller than what the other concepts proposed. Our final mechanism would have allowed different speeds for the ball. The other concepts didn't have a speed setting mechanism for the ball. The cannon would oscillate normally. We finally selected concept number 4 because of its economic feasibility and the fact that the ball speed can be controlled. This is the 3D model of a gaming system. Our gaming system consists of 4 subsystems which are launching unit, projectile handling unit, target unit, and the casing unit. Our first subsystem is the launching unit, which consists of the launcher. This is used to launch the ball or shoot the ball with force. The servo motor, which is used to adjust the angle at which the ball is to be shot, and this part helps the servo in doing it so. And the pipe, which allows the ball one by one to the launching unit. Here the gap is left so that a motor is placed which allows the ball to go one by one. As you can see it here, this is the motor which helps the ball or which allows the ball to move ahead one by one. And the next part is the base. This is the base of our entire launching unit, which cases the parts of the launching unit. Our next subsystem is projectile handling unit, which consists of a coil. Uh, the main motto here is to make a screw pump, which is made up of a coil and a casing around it, which has an entry and an exit, and it also helps in pushing the ball up and it prevents it from falling. And also the base on which the launcher is placed, or the launching unit, the base of the launching unit is placed slant, as you can see here, so that the ball can easily go to the screw pump and it can be lifted up. Our next system is target system, which consists of a stand and the cup. These are the cups which are placed on the stand, and this is a stand on which the cups are placed, and the are placed below the cups or at the bottom of the cups to sense the ball when it is shot into the cups. And our last subsystem is the casing unit, which consists of L clamps and also the bases which support the launching unit, and also the aluminum channels. These are the aluminum channels which supports our subsystem, that is casing unit. This is the circuit diagram of our entire gaming machine. We have used 4 motors in a gaming machine. First one is a DC gear motor, which allows the projectile one by one into the launcher. The second and the third motors are the toy DC motors, which are used to launch the projectile. And the fourth one is a DC gear motor that is used in screw pump to move the ball upside. These are 3 IRs which are used to sense the projectile and to display the score. This is the display board where the scores are displayed, and this is the servo which is used to change the angle at which the projectile is to be launched, and this is Arduino which controls all the mechanism. This is a simulating model of our entire gaming machine, which has 4 state flows. First state flow is to control the speed of the servo. Second state flow is to control the time of the game. Third state flow is to display the score, and the fourth state flow is to on and off the DC motor which is used to launch. And these are the IRs which are used, and these are the dashboards. First one is for the timing of the game, second one is for servo speed, and third one is to display the score. Motor and battery sizing of the entire system. This is motor sizing for servo motor. Here we have used density of foam sheet, which is 0.45, which gives force equal to 0.14491 kilonewton, and the torque becomes equal to 0.8695 kg centimeter. This is motor sizing for toy DC motors which are used for launching. Here the density is of PVC pipe, that is the material is made up of plastic. Here the force becomes equal to 0.129902 kilonewtons, and the torque becomes equal to 0.1624 kg centimeter. This is motor sizing for the DC geared motor which is used in screw pump. Here also we have taken density of PVC pipe which is used to make the screw pump. Here the force becomes equal to 5.7586 kilonewton, and the torque becomes equal to 12.6689 kg centimeter. In this case, battery sizing, we have only used a 12-volt adapter as a power source. This is the list of functional specification of our gaming system. First function is to store the projectile balls, and its specification is that the ball should be stored in a pipe linearly. Second function is turn on and off of the machine. There is a switch which controls the entire system, that is, which allows or stops the current flow through the circuit of the entire system. Third function is the mechanism to throw a ball. There are 2 DC toy motors which are used to launch the ball as the ball passes through them. Fourth function is the adjustment of angle. The servo motor is used to adjust the angle at which the ball is to be thrown. Fifth one is the target to catch the ball. A cup is used as the target to catch the ball. As we hit the ball, it may fall in the target or it may not. Sixth function is the adjustment of speed. And seventh function is to display the score points. When the game is over, score is displayed either on LCD screen or on the monitor. Eighth function is the movement of the target receiver, that is, movement of the ball. Finally, when the ball falls down, it will be taken back to its initial position. Ninth function is the sense of catching, that is, the IR sensors are attached to the target. That when the ball falls into the target, they recognize it and they send a signal so that the score is displayed. This is the stimulation of our entire model.
Our first step flow is servo speed. In servo speed, initially t is equal to 60, launcher is equal to 0 and buffer is equal to 0. T is equal to 60 implies that the servo takes 60 seconds to move from 0 to 90 degree. When the button is pressed, it moves from initial time state to main state. Here launcher is equal to 1 and pump is equal to 1. Here the motion of the servo is controlled. Initially servo angle is 10 degree. It moves from initial state to moving state. Here the servo angle keeps on increasing by 1 till it reaches 90 degree. When it reaches 90 degree, it moves from moving state to moving to state. When it moves to moving to state, here the servo angle starts decreasing till it becomes equal to 10 degree. When servo angle becomes 10 degree, it moves back from moving to state to moving state. Here IR1 equal to 1 or IR2 equal to 1 or IR3 equal to 1. This implies that when IR is detected, it moves from this state to dummy state. That is, after 250 msec, it moves again back to this state. 250 msec determines that the IR is detected for 250 msec of time. Our second state flow is to determine the timing of the game. Initially the timing is 30 seconds. That is, we have given 30-second time for a person to play a game. When the button is pressed, the time starts decreasing. Timing equal to timing minus 1. When it reaches 0, it moves back to its initial time. This state flow is to determine score. Initially, the score is 0. When button is equal to 1, it moves from initial score 1 to scoring state. Here, score equal to score. When IR1 is detected, score becomes equal to score plus 10. It is stored in this state after 250 msec. This determines that the IR is detected for 250 msec of time. It moves back here. When IR2 is detected, score is increased by 15, so score is equal to score plus 15. And when IR3 is detected, score is equal to score plus 20. And when the timing is 0, it goes back to initial state. That is, the scoreboard is reset. And the final state is to shoot the projectile. This is the initial state, that is, the DC motor is in off state. When both button 1 and button are pressed, that is, this button which is used to on and off the servo, that is the game, and this button is used to shoot. When both are pressed, it moves from the DC off state to DC on state. Here it remains until the DC reaches 90 degree, that is, the angle of the DC motor reaches 90 degree. We have calculated that the DC motor reaches from 0 to 90 degree in 0.299 seconds. So it would be in this state till 0.299 seconds. These are the buttons. This button represents on and off of the machine. This button is to shoot, and this button represents IR. When we press this button, the machine gets on, the timing starts, and when we press this button it represents higher. The servo here the value has decreased. It means that the time taken by the servo to move from 0 to 90 degree has decreased and the score is increased by 10. When we press this button, score is increased by 20, and this button the score is increased by 15. After the timing, the game automatically stops, and when we again press this, the game restarts.
Thank you.